So the newest thing that people are trying to cancel is Hogwarts Legacy. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have touched this video with a 10-foot pole, because the minute that you go into this territory, you are inviting the mobs with their pitchforks and their, it's like that scene from Beauty and the Beast with Gaston. He brings the whole village and he's like, "When I say we kill the beast, let's go kill the beast." And that's pretty much what's going on here. Cancel culture at its finest, my friends. This is going to be one of those kind of like news, but like ranty videos. Sometimes I do those here on the channel. Maybe you guys want to see more of those. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about this topic and just kind of go off on a little bit of a discussion here, because this is nuts, dude. This is crazy. I didn't actually understand how big this was until I started seeing a lot more people posting about it. But apparently, people are trying to cancel and boycott Hogwarts Legacy, which in and of itself is just maddening. Okay, no matter where you sit on the spectrum of this whole conversation, the fact of the matter is that if you're trying to boycott the game because you hate one person, and as opposed to making all these other developers who put in lots of time and energy and blood, sweat, and tears into this game suffer for that because of your hatred for one person, despite where you sit on this spectrum, that's pure insanity in and of itself. Now, I don't usually get into these kind of discussions on social media too much, but there's like there's a couple people that I followed from back in the day, from like Call of Duty Zombies, stuff like that. If you guys have been here for a super long time, you remember when I was doing Call of Duty Zombies a lot, almost exclusively for the most part. And so I was following Milo, Mr. Raffle Waffles, still on Twitter, and he tweeted out asking, "Do you plan to boycott the new Hogwarts Legacy game?" And I was like, dude, why are people asking this question? I seen a couple people talk about it, and I was like, huh? I'm like, all right. I'm like, so I replied. I don't usually reply to these things. I'm like, no. I'm like, why on earth would anyone boycott it? My goodness. Like seriously, why would you boycott it? And surprisingly, actually, not really surprisingly, probably surprisingly to the people that wanted boycotted, but in his poll, which got almost 20,000 votes, 75% of people said no boycott. 25% said yes, or well, 24.6%. But then we got a little bit of kind of like discussion going on. And I'm like, bro, this is crazy. Okay, so let's look at Twitter for a second. So I said that someone replied to me, said a lot of people are boycotting because anything that's Harry Potter because J.K. Rowling. They're saying that she's a TERF, which apparently is a hardcore transphobe, to put it simply, this person says. And I said, and I stand by this comment, that it sounds like a bunch of extremists themselves. And come on, it does. Like, listen, when you're trying to boycott this game because you hate this one single person, just because she's going to get a little bit of royalties from it, despite the fact that these people are putting blood, sweat, and tears into it. And look, this is not even going into the topic of, you know, excuse me, what she said and all that as well, which honestly, at its core, wasn't radical. But anyways, I went on to say that unless I missed something, which I still don't believe I have, maybe I have, who knows. But I said what she said wasn't radical for people to be losing their minds over it. But I said, I suppose, you know, relativistic extremism is trendy and people enjoy canceling each other nowadays. I call it relativistic extremism because, first of all, it is a form of extremism, whether you agree or disagree. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that's going to come at me on this one, man. But listen, if you've been around a long time, listen, man, at the end of the day, I try to be kind to as many people as possible, but I don't think watering down, you know, first of all, your own worldviews and your own opinions on things for the sake of someone's feelings is unkind. I don't think that that's an uncaring thing just because someone's offended that you have a different worldview than them. You know what I mean? Look, I'm a Christian. The majority of the world has a different worldview than me, okay? Like, let's face it, all right? It's not something to get all crazy about, man. Like, you know, everybody, you know, it's whatever, man. We could still find, you know, things to talk about and stuff, like in the gaming world, right? We could all still get along and talk about games, at least in that sense. You know, when we have some of these topics and discussions, sometimes it's good and healthy to have these debates and topics, but people just get crazy. Anyways, one of my buddies says, and good point, regardless of what she is or isn't, like, despite the fact of what you think she is or isn't, or what she is or isn't, it doesn't really matter. He says real people worked on that game, and their job shouldn't be in jeopardy because of it. And I said, I absolutely agree. And I said, honestly, to be honest, I think that makes my original point of extremism even stronger, because like I said, if some people are going to boycott the game, want devs to suffer because of it, of their hate for one person, is pure insanity. But then someone started replying to me, and it doesn't even really make sense, but it said, if you support, probably even shouldn't say that word on YouTube. I'm probably going to get demonetized. I don't know. Let's just say, let's just blank it out. I don't know, because YouTube's weird. And then so basically calling J.K. Rowling that, okay? And I took a little bit of kind of whoa to that, because I'm like, bro, that situation, like, that was a horrific event. I think that's kind of crazy to start doing that. I'm like, look, you know, you say someone else is breeding hate, but you're doing that very thing. It's kind of hypocritical. Just stop. So, anyways, a lot of people are getting up in arms about this, and it's crazy. So first things first, before we continue, because there's some articles out there. I want to go over some of these articles. I want to check them out, because it's craziness. But before we continue, let me know in the comments, okay? Wherever you stand on this spectrum, the base fact of the matter is, are you guys picking up Hogwarts Legacy? And if you're not picking up Hogwarts Legacy, I'm going to regret asking you guys this. I really am. If you're not picking up Hogwarts Legacy, is it just because you're not interested in the game, or because you're boycotting it? And do you really think, honestly, like, if you are on that side of the spectrum, do you really think like that makes much sense? I'm probably asking a stupid question, because of course, if you're boycotting it in your mind, it makes sense. But come on, let's be realistic and reasonable. It is kind of crazy. It is a little bit crazy. Look, I love you guys, but it's crazy. It's insanity. Okay. Let's look at some of the tweets real quick, because there's this one. Yeah. See, this is, I thought this one was kind of funny. Okay. Listen, I just thought it's kind of funny. This person tweeted out, and it's that scene. I don't know if you guys watched The Walking Dead. I love that show. It's great. Anyways, there's that one scene with Negan. If you know, you know. It's a brutal scene. Super brutal. This person's like, what people think Hogwarts Legacy is doing to trans people. And it's true. It's like, people are going insane over this. But anyways, if we go over to like Kotaku's like, Hogwarts Legacy transphobia controversy fuels Reddit drama. You know, you got to get those clicky titles, right? I don't even know what I'm calling this. It's probably gonna be something simple, nothing like that. Let's be honest. But anyways, there's this whole thing. They kind of go over how, you know, the Harry Potter books and universe, they respond and beloved by millions, and they're like, it's so unfortunate, so incredibly unfortunate that the franchise's creator, J.K. Rowling, has repeatedly proven herself to be the worst kind of anti-transgender bigot. Listen, if you don't know what she said, you can go look it up. There's like this whole thing, okay? Basically, it was her responding originally. I guess it was, I don't know if it was an article or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically she felt like the angle that they were taking was, I guess, diminishing woman. Right. And again, there's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into the deeps of it. I mean, depths of it. If you don't know, it's all over the internet. You can kind of come up with your own conclusion from that. But I definitely think that people have been blowing this thing way out of the water, like to the moon and back. And it's just, dude, this world is just like, man, when you don't have like a lot going on and you're bored, I guess you find something to fight about and argue about, create new civil wars, if you will. But anyways, it's crazy. So we got a bunch of stuff going on, you know, with Kotaku, but then there's this other, I don't even know what this is. I was just like looking it up, and it was like a random article I seen. And I was like, bro, 10 things you can buy instead of wasting your money on Hogwarts Legacy. Listen, a lot of us do not think we're wasting our money. We are excited to jump into Hogwarts. We are excited to traverse the grounds of Hogwarts and to see all that there is to see in this magical wizarding world, and to, you know, get hands-on with, you know, ourselves with this world. I mean, we haven't really got to be able to do that. We had some kind of old school like 2000s Harry Potter games, or they were so. You know, we got some like mobile games, like Hogwarts, what is it called? Hogwarts Mystery. I have it on my tablet. It's a lot of fun, but again, you don't really, it's one of those, it's a mobile game, right? It's not really the same at all. To be able to just kind of like an RPG Harry Potter style game, but it's not Harry Potter. It's like you get to be your own wizard. It's crazy. It's cool. Okay, listen, man. It's like, why would you pass up on that? I don't think you're a true Wizarding World, you know, fan. Otherwise, Forbes, they tweeted out that there's like this whole thing with J.K. Rowling mocks trans gamer for Hogwarts Legacy comments, which I guess someone, I'm not familiar with who they are exactly. I think I've seen the name in passing, probably, but where is it here? So yeah, okay, so it says J.K. Rowling, I guess, tweeted out, deeply disappointed. So-and-so doesn't realize Pure Think is incompatible with owning anything connected with me in any form. The truly righteous wouldn't just burn their books and movies, but the local library, anything with an owl on it, and their own pet dogs. Okay, listen, it doesn't matter where you sit on the spectrum, because come on, you gotta giggle at least, man. Lighten up, man. Gosh. So the tweet Rowling was replying to said, I will not begrudge anyone their love of, I guess, past works for things they already own, and they take comfort in. I own the first 9 movies and all 7 books myself. But then here's the kicker. Here's the key part right here. Any support of something like Hogwarts Legacy is harmful. I mean, dude, like, come on. And I know I'm not going to convince the people that think otherwise, but man, can at least the majority of us agree that this is just getting to a point of pure insanity where we're going out of our way to cancel a game because, like, you hate J.K. Rowling so much with a fiery passion. I mean, like, look, are you not becoming the exact thing that you're accusing of her being? Like, do you know what I mean? Do you see the kind of hypocrisy there? Like, again, I'm not trying to turn this into this whole other thing here, but it just seems crazy to me, man. It's like, dude, this is getting way out of proportion. I mean, it's just nuts. There's a bunch of articles, man. There's article after article after article, whatnot. It's there's a lot of people angry, man. It's like, dude, why you shouldn't buy Hogwarts? But the funny thing is the large majority of people are like, bro, I'm gonna buy Hogwarts. I can't wait. I'm gonna buy Hogwarts. The freaking game looks beautiful. It looks magical. Okay, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's just, dude, I mean, if you don't want to play it, look, don't play it. Here's the kind of final thing, right? If you think a game looks fun, play it. If you don't think it looks fun, don't play it. That goes for both sides of the spectrum, right? It's like, if you're just gonna buy it just to, like, you know, piss off the other side or something, it's like, all right, whatever, dude. And it's likewise, if you're just gonna boycott it just to piss off the other side, it's like, it's still the same. It's like, it's just around and around and around and around we go. Where will we stop? Nobody knows. Look, at the end of the day, man, like I said, if you think the game looks fun, buy it. If you don't think it looks fun, don't buy it. It's whatever. But chill out, man. Relax. Yo, this person got banned for saying that they pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy from the place on Reddit where this whole thing started. I guess this all started on Reddit. Dude, this is crazy. So I seen that this tweet was blowing up. Seen people, I guess, sharing it around, and it's just crazy because this one has like almost 500,000 views. I don't even know if I want to look at the responses, but this person's basically saying blank you if you buy Hogwarts Legacy. Like, why are people so intense about this, man? And again, if you don't know what happened, like I said, you can look it up, but dude, I don't think it's warranted. And look, I know people are going to want to like crucify me for even saying that. But dude, like, it's just nuts. Like, people are like, yeah, but she profits from it. It's her franchise. She gets money from it. Bro, you think she needs that money? Like, do you really think, like, it doesn't even matter? It's not, it doesn't, like, it literally doesn't matter either way, whether you buy it or not. The only thing you're doing is taking away from the devs, no matter what you think. So like I said, at the end of the day, no matter where you sit on this fence, on the spectrum, you're nuts to try to boycott this. You're crazy if you try to boycott this, because like you're just so fueled and blinded by anger and by hate yourself that you don't even care what it's going to do to like hundreds of other people that have worked really hard on this game. Listen, if you don't want, like I said, if you guys don't want to play the game, don't play the game. If you want to play the game, play the game. There's going to be a lot of people playing it. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be covering it on the channel. I'm going to be playing through it on the channel. We're going to do a walkthrough. We're going to do a playthrough. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to get lost in the magical wizarding world of Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to become a wizard, okay? If Hagrid was born at that point, he'd be like, "You're a wizard, Skelly." And I'd be like, "Yes, Hagrid. Yes, I am. I'm a wizard." So we can go on and on and on and on and on. There's article after article. There's tweet after tweet. There's people that are just like losing their mind. Listen, but at the end of the day, the people that are losing their minds over this are literally like the smallest minority of people that are actually mad at this. Like we've seen just from like a little snippet of a Twitter poll. Again, 20,000 people voting, you know, it's at least a nice little picture. Most people don't care, man. Like they're like, bro, I'm just gonna play the game. You know, some people, like I said, it doesn't matter where you sit on the spectrum. Some people, you know, have hate for JK and they're still gonna play the game. Some people hate her so much that they're like, boycott it. And if you get it, then they want to demonize you. And I think that's just nuts, man. It's just that the kind of culture we live in where we're trying to demonize people over trivial things like this. I mean, it truly is trivial. Especially like I said, you see the whole thing that unfolded, and it's like, I really do believe that this whole thing, both with Hogwarts and even with JK, and I know I'm gonna get like roasted even just for implying that, but I think it's blown completely out of the water to the moon and back, where it's like, you know, she was trying to make a point and people took it as this whole like, oh, she's a transphobe and it's not. Like, listen, man, you like, if you're at the end of the day, if you are so confident in who you say you are, it could be whatever, but what my point I'm making is that if you claim to be so confident in what you claim to be, but then you get so defensive over things like someone not, I guess, affirming and condoning your like part of your lifestyle or your worldview on something, like, bro, like, dude, relax, man. Like, clearly you just, you know, you gotta breathe here. It's like people are acting like this is just way bigger than it is. And look, at the end of the day, man, you know, like I said, touching this topic was probably a stupid idea, because people are going to lose their minds and people are going to say you're a bigot and you're a garbage human being for saying what you said and this and that. And it's like, dude, look, at the end of the day, if you guys have been around the channel long enough, you know, I've interacted with all kinds of people. I try my best to be kind, but at the same time, I am a Christian with Christian worldviews, and I'm unapologetically, you know, firm in that. And, you know, but at the same time, that doesn't mean I hate someone just because I don't share your worldview, and just because I don't affirm certain things that people would like everybody to affirm. And like I said, you know, we technically do live in free countries, at least for now. Who knows for how much longer. So look, anyways, the point being, Hogwarts Legacy, you want to play it, buy it. You don't want to play it, don't buy it. But look, don't trip out on people for buying it, okay? Don't trip out on people for wanting to play it. Like, a lot of people, at the end of the day, fact of the matter, have worked on this game, and a lot of people have been wanting and dying for a game like this for ages. So just, dude, chill. relax, breathe, but I don't expect you to. So at the end of the day, if you're someone who's going to lose your mind over this, you're going to lose your mind no matter what anyone says. So I just hope that you can consider these things, see that in this world there is objective truth that remains. So I guess we'll just end it with this. Like I said, you want to buy the game, buy the game. You don't want to buy the game, don't buy the game. You know, if you want to play it, play it. If you don't want to play it, don't play it. And don't get all crazy about, you know, other people playing it or buying it. And you know, we're already going heavy enough as is. Usually I talk about these things more in streams, but I'll end it with this. I feel like, you know, it's important to inject this too, just for, like I said, we're having this whole discussion on the state of humanity in and of itself. And at the end of the day, yes, objective truth does exist, whether we choose to believe it or not. You know, I too once was in a place where I, you know, try to do everything I could to just kind of shut up my conscience, my God-given conscience. We're all given a God-given conscience that tells us what's right from wrong. And at the end of the day, people get so mad over certain things because we know that certain things are in pure rebellion to God. And we can sit here and scream, I don't believe in God and I don't believe in this and that. But at the end of the day, you know, we were created in his image. We are going to all die. 10 out of 10 people are going to die. We're going to have to face him when we pass from this life and stand before him. And we're all guilty. We've all sinned against him, right? There's so many different things that we've done that have been in rebellion against God. And we're going to have to give an account for that. And if we're judged as guilty, then yeah, that does mean an eternity in hell forever, which is pretty, you know, deserving, first of all, for all of us, myself included. I should be there too with the rest of us. But also very sad to think that, you know, that would happen to someone who has a way of escape. And that way of escape is that God came himself in the flesh, in the person of Christ, took on human flesh to live a human life, but he did so perfectly, so then he could die a perfect sacrificial death, taking the sin of those who would belong to him, those who would repent, turn away from sin and turn to him. Normally we have our backs towards Christ and we have our face towards our sin. Like I said, each person's sin is different depending on the person, right? We all have our sin that we kind of cling to. But you got to turn, you know, stop being a friend to sin and turn to Christ and trust in what he did, you know, dying on that cross, raising from the dead. And when you do that, the Bible says you'll be given a new heart. You'll be born again. That's what it means. Is that you suddenly have your back towards sin. It's not that, you know, you're suddenly a perfect saint. I'm sure not. You could ask anyone who knows me, but it's that you desperately do, you know, long to please God rather than to just rebel against him constantly and sin against him. And look, I know there's gonna be people out there who's gonna be like, bro, I don't believe in all that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're given a God-given conscience. We know in our heart truth and right from wrong. We know objectivity, but we shut it out to make our own rules and to play God ourselves. So anyways, that's just kind of a quick little injection of the gospel, trying to keep it brief. I could go a little bit more in depth with that, but again, feel free to hit me up about these things if you want to discuss them further. But I felt like since we're already, you know, nose deep, or not nose deep, but submerged over our heads in this deep conversation as is, we might as well discuss that too. Anyways, guys, look, at the end of the day, whoever you are, I do care about you guys very, very much. Even if you think I don't because my worldviews don't line up with yours, I do. I definitely do. I care about you no matter what, and you know, I hope that shows, and I hope at least most of you that have been around for a while know that to be true. Anyways, again, feel free to discuss more in the comments. Please keep it civil. I want to discuss this because, yes, it is my view that I think this is pure craziness. And look, you know, it's just nuts. I'm going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy on the channel. If you want to check out my playthrough, stick around. If you don't, that's completely fine. But let me know if you guys are going to be picking up yourselves or not, and what you think about this whole thing, this whole situation. Again, keep it civil. That's my rant. Let me know if you guys want to see more rants. I don't know if I should ask that. Anyways, stay safe, stay well. Till then, game on. See you guys later.